Bowser's Fury is an open-world Mario game that features 100 shines to collect. While some just have you do some regular parkour or use Plusy to get them, quite a few rely on power-ups to collect. So this got me thinking, how many shines can you get without any power-ups? I'm pretty sure that there are at least 50 I can do, but can I get all 100? The rules are simple. Mario will have to sober up because there are no mushrooms of any kind allowed. Not even the mushroom to make Mario big. I'll have to play through the entirety of this game as Small Mario. I'm also banning propeller hats and this stow boot as they're basically power-ups. But Plusy's okay because she's a living creature. With the rules all set, there's nothing left to do but start the game. After falling through a portal to the cat dimension, I realized that I started as Big Mario. This, unfortunately, is a consistent theme throughout the game. After you pick up any cat shine or die, you respawn as or become Big Mario. It's unavoidable and very annoying, as the rule I set for myself is that I have to go and damage myself down to Small Mario and then come back. If there weren't any enemies close by, then I usually had to go and swim to the nearest black Bowser gunk to damage myself, which was quite slow and annoying. Anyway, I jumped in some black goop and then pushed forward towards the first shine. It wasn't too hard, and after getting Bowser to destroy some blocks for me, I got my first shine. After picking it up, we scare Bowser away and get access to the first third of the world. We immediately talked to Bowser Jr. and teamed up with him. I'm not going to ban him from doing anything as he doesn't look like a mushroom and Mario certainly isn't going to eat him or wear him on his head, but I am going to turn his help to none. This doesn't change any of the things I can do with him. I can still point him at coins or enemies to have him go over there, but he isn't proactive about anything and won't do a thing until I tell him to. The first island that I tackled was Scamper's Shores. How all of the islands work is that there's 5 shines to collect. Almost always the first shine just has you exploring the level and getting to the top where there's a shine waiting. Then, after you collect that, you have to leave and come back or die to reload the area and they'll spawn the second shine. You pretty much have to collect these in sequential order besides 2 kinds of shines. Cat shard shines are always there and can be collected at any time, even before the first cat shine. And Bowser Fury blocks are also always there and can be blasted to collect the shine at any point. Scamper Shores follows the pattern, and the first shine here just having you avoiding a couple of enemies and doing very simple parkour. Instead of trying to collect every shine on Scamper Shores, I decided to explore around and went to the Bounce Isle. And here's where I started to notice my fragility. Since I'm Small Mario, I die in one hit, and since there aren't checkpoints on any of these islands, I have to do the whole thing hitless or restart. If I ever miss an input or I'm just bad, then I'm right back to the beginning. Since the beginning levels are pretty easy, I didn't notice this problem too much, but in later levels, it became very frustrating. Even though Bowser showed up halfway through, I managed to make the lighthouse shine and scare Bowser away. After climbing to the top of the lighthouse for no reason, I saw a shine just floating in the air. Normally you'd have to bring a cat suit over to that wheel and spin it, causing the ground to rise and letting you climb up to get the shine. But instead, I just did this. The third and final area we have available right now is called Fort Flaptrap. It has these red and blue sides that flip when you jump, and there's lava beneath it all. Since the island isn't very big and it's mostly an arena, our first shine had us taking on some bullies. Since I'm Small Mario, I kind of just got slapped around the block whenever I tried to take them head on. So instead, I would lure them onto one of the switches and then jump, causing them to fall into the lava. It was pretty fun and got me my 5th shine. Dark Luigi shows up a couple of times throughout the game and is a pain to kill every single time. He holds a shine and runs away at the perfect speed where he's just fast enough to be really difficult to hit. With a boomerang or fire flower, I could snipe him while sprinting behind, but since I'm just Mario, I have to jump on his head. And since I'm Small Mario, I can very easily miss his head and hit him instead, instantly killing me and causing him to regenerate all the health he's lost. Eventually, I managed to bop him on the head 3 times without dying and collect the shine. After that, it was smooth sailing for a bit. I picked up some blue coins, blasted some Fury blocks, did some timer challenges, and killed some Magic Koopas. The next shine to give me some trouble was this one where I had to bring a key back to a cage. At first, I thought I wouldn't even be able to reach the key and I would need a cat suit, but it turns out there's a back area and I can just climb up that. After getting the key, I also just kept on dying. I died twice to the bullet bills and also lost the key once because I didn't know it wasn't waterproof. Since I had to restart from the beginning, it made all of the deaths pretty frustrating. The last shine I was able to get was the 5 cat shards on Bounce Isle. You're intended to use boomerangs and cat suits, but I was able to find workarounds for all of the shards here. However, I wasn't able to do that on either of the other 2 islands. On Fort Flaptrap, the final shard is blocked by these wooden blocks. As any of the big Marios, I could roll into this and break it, but as small Mario, I just bounced back. On Scamper Shores, one of the shards is located in this cave way above the ground, and I'm just not able to reach it. Going into this game, I didn't remember much about it, since the last time I played it was early 2021. I was hoping that if I got enough shines, then the map would reveal itself, but to do that, you instead need to defeat Bowser. And, to kill Bowser, you need to pick up the Gigabell, which is a power-up. But this one's a little different. While you do get transformed into Cat Mario, you can still take damage twice to become Small Mario once again. It's kind of like when we pick up a shine and automatically get upgraded to Big Mario. I just damaged myself to Small Mario without doing anything important. It's a necessary part of the game, just like this. But I will keep track of the number of times I have to use the Gigabell and try and get as many shines before he chooses as I possibly can. If you're wondering, you can't kill Fury Bowser with cat shines. Even if you lower his health to what looks like nothing, you have to deal some amount of damage with the Gigabell to kill him. So with no Gigabells, I managed to get 14 shines. But after using one, I unlocked a whole other area of the map to explore, and I unlocked Plusy, who is crucial to so many power-up list shines. One of the many reasons that Plusy is so great is that she can break blocks. After steering her onto land, I was able to break these blocks and get the Cat Shard shine, finishing this island off. There are also a lot of other Plusy specific timer challenges and other shines, but a lot of those are late game and I'll cover them later. Some of the more challenging shines for me were these arenas where I had to fight for my life. Since I'm Small Mario, I die in one hit, and no matter how many enemies I've killed, they all respawn for my next attempt. One of the items that aren't explicitly a power-up, but I decided to ban anyway, is the Snow Boot. It only appears in this one area, and banning it makes my life pretty miserable as the area is completely designed around it. The first 2 shines I tried to get were the one that's just at the end of the level and the Cat Shards. The Cat Shards were all going great, but then I got to the 4th Cat Shard. It's located on top of these spinning circles, and it's just a little too far to jump to. Even with the boost pads and a dive at the end, I wasn't quite making it. I tried it over and over again until I finally figured it out. If you go to the very end of the section and then build up a little speed before long jumping, you can just barely make it across. I caught a bunny with Plusy and did some timer challenges before taking on the Coliseum. You face 4 boss battles that just get progressively more fun. The first is a simple boom boom fight, and the next turns him invisible. The third is Pom Pom, and the fourth is where they take it from 0 to 100 in 0.2 seconds. The ground is now covered in spikes that can impale you, and after every hit, Boom Boom releases another shell that you have to keep track of. It was really fun. I just wish there were more somewhat difficult fights in the game. After killing Boom Boom, I got blasted into the sky. There are about 3 or 4 shines that have you launch into the clouds and then give you a star to kill some beetles. Usually it's a fun, fast-paced section, trying not to miss any beetles while you're invincible. But instead, I had to painstakingly go through and individually kill each beetle by jumping on its head. I also had to make sure not to fall off or die, or else I'd be reset right back to the beginning. Trickety Tower is a very cool island, although it's not very hard. You have a bunch of invisible platforms that don't really require a power-up. The only interesting part was this tall wall that seemed to require a catsuit to get up. But with a precise spin jump, wall jump, and roll, I got the Cat Shard. The next island on my agenda was Crispy Climb Tower. This area has you using a propeller hat to climb up a massive tower, but I banned that, so I didn't think I could make it up, but I wanted to try anyway. Using precise spin jumps, wall jumps, Bowser Jr. jumps, and dives, I was able to make it up the first tower. And honestly, I've looked at the second tower and it doesn't look that difficult to traverse up, if I could get there. But the jump between them is just too far. Even with Bowser Jr. to jump off of, I'm not even close. I gave it a half hour of attempts, but I just wasn't able to get across. Since I can't get the first shine, I can't get the other 5 locked behind it. There are also sometimes shines hidden in goop that the lighthouse would make disappear, so I might lose out on even more shines. The next big task I worked on was the Blue Coin Bustle on Slipskate Slope. You're meant to use a snow booth that travels much faster than we do, but I'll just have to make do. It starts out pretty rough. There are 3 coins located right over a spike, but I just used Bowser Jr. to collect them. The next section wasn't the worst, and I didn't usually fail it. You have to do some precise jumps while a full sprint, and I always got close to the end of the timer, but usually made it. The third group of coins is the worst by far. You have to run through these directional floors with spikes on either side. Since I'm at a full sprint, any slight adjustment is multiplied by 10 billion, and I usually get flung into a spike, instantly killing me. But even if that didn't happen, I would often miss a blue coin on the transition between directions because it's so unnatural trying to control Mario like this. And even if I make it through the whole gauntlet there's still another group here, and one way down there. And there's just zero shot that I can make it down there in time without the boot. I realized that I could use Bowser Jr. If I aim to go down there, then he can fly way ahead of me. There are 2 problems though. He can't pick up blue coins while my camera's not on them, so while I'm pressing a ton of other buttons, I have to constantly adjust my camera. He's also super slow. Half the time the timer just runs out because Bowser Jr. couldn't make it there in time. After more than an hour of attempts, I finally strung it all together and got the shine. Bringing the key back to the cage was interesting on this level too, because you have to use the blocks that Fury Bowser drops to help you for some reason. It's very stressful traversing this, and I nearly died so many times, but still managed to get it first try. In this game, there are 3 big cats that are constantly losing their children, and instead of looking for them, are just moping around and crying about it, so we have to go find them. One of them is located on the top of one of these arches, and usually requires a catsuit to go up and grab her. But with the power of Plusy, I managed to get up there. The third one wasn't quite so hard, but it was a lot more annoying. It's located in this ice area, and I first had to wait for an ice platform to appear and then ride it all the way back to the mainland. Then, after those 2 minutes of waiting, I was about 15 seconds away from the cat's mom when Bowser showed up and turned the cat evil. I had to wait out the entire Bowser encounter, praying that the cat didn't despawn and that I didn't get burned alive before returning the cat to his mother and taking my hard-earned cat shine. With Plusy, I went and revisited Scamper Shores and managed to jump up and collect this cat shard, which was pretty unreachable, letting me get all the shines here and completing the island. Also, while I was completing this island, I realized that I just missed the Bowser blocks and definitely could have gotten that one before the first Gigabell, meaning that the 14 should have been a 15. My bad. After getting to 40 shines, I realized that I couldn't get any more. I'd gotten every shine except for the ones at Chris Climb Tower. And then something weird happened. I activated the Gigabell for the first time and was only able to damage him to half health before he hid away. And then he didn't unlock anything new, so I fought him again, and then this time I beat him all the way and got another third of the map. I'm not sure if I could have avoided this or if I messed up somehow, so on the tracker I'll just put a 2 question mark. Now that we have access to all of the map, we can get a lot more shines. Again, we have 3 more islands to explore, and the difficulty has been ramped up a lot. The first island I tackled here was Roiling Roller Isle. You have lots of spinning platforms and lava all over. Just on my first climb up, I died more than 10 times to the lava because it's so challenging. The next shine was bringing a key from the top of the tower to the bottom. It was incredibly annoying because every time I died with a key, I would have to climb up the tower again, which inevitably caused a lot more deaths. The final attempt that got me to shine was pretty cool though. I made my way down the first 3 platforms and then made a sick throw and dive mid-air to cross this gap, which usually requires a Tanuki suit. I was able to bypass another catsuit shine by just jumping off of Plusy in midair and then went to tackle this mess of pipes. It was a maze trying to get through here, but it's really only 3 sections of pipes, so I quickly found my way. On the top of the end platform, there's a pipe blocked by spiky balls that can only be broken by a fire flower. But you can just YOLO over the side to get the final cat shard. Mount Magmeow is the final area that I haven't yet explored, and it's filled with lava, revolving balls of flames, and switchboards. You can beat up a trash can for your first shine, and then climb all the way to the peak for your second. The pipe section's key shine forces you to platform between extremely thin pipes as the key won't follow you in the pipe. And then the last interesting shine was a timer challenge that is intended to be cheesed by the catsuit or done the hard way without a power-up. And that's all the shines I can collect so far. There are several locked in the post-game, and of course the ones at Chris Climb Tower I also can't collect. So the maximum right now is 69 shines, and that's pretty nice. Again I fought Bowser once at half health, and then again to no health. So I'll just put a 3 question mark on the scoreboard. After defeating Bowser, it's a little different. This time I'm transported into the final fight of the game, as Big Mario. So I had to ride out to the goop, damage myself, and then try and kill Bowser. And I've gotta say, this final fight sucks. As you chase Bowser down, he shoots pillars of flame from his mouth and sharp pointy boulders at you to try and kill you. To make the fight pretty easy, the devs put plenty of cat power-ups around to make sure that if you got hit, you'd never be in danger of dying. But I don't have that privilege. I had to do this hit list, and I died over and over and over and over and over again. Some of the time blocks would just spawn inside of me and I just had to start all over. After countless frustrating deaths, I managed to make it through the bullet hell this final fight is and land the final blow on Bowser. And now, Bowser's defeated. But we're not done yet. There's still plenty of shines locked into the post-game that I can collect. A lot of them are pretty easy. There are 7 Plusy shines, 2 arena fights, and 2 in the clouds. There are also 4 at the beginning of the game that were all easy, and 4 toad trackers to find. They're actually in pretty cool places. One of them is hiding under the Snowboot Bridge, one is just in the middle of nowhere surrounded by black goop, one's on the top of a mountain getting attacked by a conch door, and one's getting chased by beetles. There are also 5 shines on a golden platform that appears in 5 different locations. 3 of them are pretty easy, but this one was just a little too far to jump to. But then I realized that you're supposed to use Plusy to jump all the way there. The first time I got up there, the platform disappeared 0.1 seconds before I collected the shine, so I had to wait a whole other cycle to collect it. The 5th one is located on Chris Climb Tower, and like every other shine there, is impossible to collect. The last shine I want to talk about is the one I felt most proud of. There's a floating island in the sky that wanders around, and the only way to get on top of it is to climb to the top of Mount Magmeow and then climb up the wall with a catsuit. Or so I thought. On my first attempt, I did this. After all my hard work and efforts, I managed to get 93 shines without any power-ups. But honestly, I think that a better gamer than me could probably make the jump to the second tower and possibly 100% the game without any power-ups. I'd highly recommend you try this challenge out, as it was super fun and it'd be cool to see if someone can manage to get all the shines. The 7 remaining are the 5 on Chris Climb Tower, the 1 shine left on the golden platform, and 1 covered in goop that will be cleared up by the Chris Climb Lighthouse. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe, comment, and like. It helps me out a ton. And until next time, have a great day.